When I started dancing, um, one of my first and best teachers was an Australian dancer called Janice Claxton. I came across her when she was living in Bristol, and although I was living in Glasgow at the time, I would fly down to Bristol and do dance workshops with her, and they're just fantastic. And I think it was in 2005 she moved to Edinburgh, so she's obviously then much nearer to me. And she kept teaching. But because she was such a skilled teacher and choreographer, as well as a brilliant dancer, the people that she tended to attract to her workshops were professional dancers. And I wasn't a professional dancer. I'd been dance training. Um, I hadn't been to dance school. None of that stuff. I just loved dancing, and I felt quite insecure at coming along to be among these professional dancers, people that had received a training and were obviously also a lot younger than me. And I would express this doubt and uncertainty to Janice. Janice would say, "Nonsense, nonsense, my dancers all love you." And I would think, sure. And in the event, my doubt got the best of me, and I didn't really throw myself in to the dance activity that she created in Edinburgh, which, as it turned out, only lasted a few years because her choreography work took her to China, took her to Holland, loads of places. Um, and, and so the opportunity was lost. And I think I thought at the time, I can pick this up at some point when I'm a bit more confident or I'm a bit more settled or whatever. Janice got lung cancer and she died at the age of 51. And so there was no opportunity for me to dance further with her. In her funeral, I came across one of her dancers. It was one of her performers who came to all the workshops that she did, performed in a number of her works. And she hadn't met me for a wee while, but she said, "Oh, John, it's great to see you." And then she said, whenever you would come along to the workshops, we would all say to each other, "Hey, there's John. Anything could happen." And it was so sweet and so touching, but also quite bittersweet. So, what lessons to learn from this? Well, the first lesson, I think, is that we need to know ourselves. We need to know our own nature, our needs, and our wants, and to act upon them, so not to be deterred by this grey wraith of doubt and fear that we carry inside ourselves, but to act on it. And that resolution is very important for questions relating to your sexual happiness, which I think are much more central to the being of all of us than dancing, for instance. So it seems to me that what we require for a happy and meaningful life is to understand our own sexual nature. And when we understand that nature, then we can understand what that calls forth in us, what we want to do, how we want to connect with people, how we want to feel. That's the important thing, how we want to feel. And you should not do what I did and say, "Oh, well, I can do this tomorrow," because there might not be tomorrow. We treat time as being something of limitless extent, but all the time it's falling away from us. So if you have issues where you feel that there's a fundamental block to the expression of your nature, and hence you living a happy and meaningful life, please let me help you.